Welcome back to the channel. It's nugget update time. So what have we been up to? Well, apart from getting filthy in my bright yellow jumper, we've been tackling the white one, pulling all the good bits out of the red one, and basically getting it all ready to go. Getting through the list has been pretty important, so let's have a look. All right, so good news is this thing's all had a fresh service and everything. We've done plugs, we've done all new gaskets through the rocker cover, which was leaking. Hopefully the residual oil will eventually burn off. We have pulled all the radiator, and I've just looped the transmission mount, line down there just so it doesn't puke everywhere. But got the air conditioning routed up, and that's about it for the engine bay. Now the red car, this poor little car. I don't think this will ever go back on the road, this one, but basically this is where the manual is. So we've pulled the clutch cable, pulled the transmission / gearbox mount that goes all the way down the back. Even the rubber grommet that's in the firewall, that went out for the compressor lines that go inside the cabin to the HVAC. This car is starting to resemble a bit of a wreck, so we're going to let this one go. But if we come around here, whoever owned this before me really didn't like wiring. I hate wiring. I hate that even more. But some sort of aftermarket alarm system, which that is an absolute bird's nest. And if it was me, I would be absolutely heave-hoing that out of the car. But anyway, it is what it is. So the manual pedal and clutch pedal are out. And as you can see under there, it's pretty rusty. Which a lot of these Nissans are, but I'll try and zoom in just on, if we can make it work. Well, that's not going to work. Top left of the screen there is basically a clutch pedal bracket, and that had rusted through. Previous owner had put a L-shaped bracket in. Anyway, we'll let that one go. And we've pretty much got all the bits and bobs out of this car that we're going to use. So obviously down over there is the shifter surround, which we'll have a look at. It might be salvageable, but not overly happy with it. There's a little manual, what would you call it, a grommet that sort of goes in the hole in the floor there, which we've cleaned up and pulled out of the car. What else? This is, I'm very lucky that wiring between both cars is actually the same. So Alright, so we're in the white car, and as you can tell, the interior in this is 30 times nicer, which is why this is the car that's going on the road. In here, that's the HVAC box which we've put in, which connected straight up, and the loom was there. I'm very, very grateful I didn't have to pull the whole dash apart. The beautiful thing about the old 90s Nissans. Now, the hole here, that's the same. There was a secondary hole for the auto cable, I suppose you call it, the shifter cable. So we just blanked that one off and put all the interior back. Now I've left this one out because I fired this up the other day and the stereo works, but the speakers do not. So there's a sub that's in the back of this, and I don't know how it's been connected. So much about wiring. Anyway, under here, let's turn the torch on. There we go. As you can see, all the pedals are now out. We've even got the bracket that holds some weight in there. And this is my next hurdle. So I'll see if I can zoom in. Yep. That there's where the clutch cable goes. Now, these old Nissans are not hydraulic, they are clutch cable. We have to get in there and drill a hole and mount up the clutch pedal to that. So good mate Andy and his hole saw, he's coming over, and we'll tackle that one this week. Other than that, starting to get some good traction with this car. We're nearly gone through our list. So speaking of which, let's go have a look. Okay, so here's the list. Receiver dryer is on the way, condenser is on the way, compressor's bolted into the car. I pulled that from the red one. I got a belt as well already, just got to mount that one up. I have been trying to source some tyres, but I'm just trying to buy some roadworthy cheapies because eventually I want to go to a 5 stud, so it's almost going to be a waste of money, but unfortunately with roadworthy, that's what it is. We'll do that one down at Nisco when the car's in the air because I really don't want to crawl around on the wet ground. Taillight's done, wipers done, oil filter done, oil change and flush is done, fuel filter, air filter, rocker cover gasket. Battery seems alright, so I'm not overly sure I'll probably change that. We'll just see how that goes. I have added engine mounts because I had a look at one of them and it just fell apart. So we've ordered them. They're actually here now already, and when we do the gearbox swap, we'll throw them in. Manual install, good mate is coming over to help me install that one shortly, and then in theory everything should be done apart from any nasty surprises we don't know about, and then get it on the road. So on the manual swap, anyone that's playing at home or wants to do this in the future, the pedal bracketry is actually the same on the firewall between the auto and the manual. You could probably just drop the center pin and pull it out, but I didn't know it, so this information is passed on to someone else who does, or sorry, who will be doing it. So enjoy that bit of info. Clutch pedal on the right, brake on the left. That is the auto sort of motor mount that goes from the front of the car to the back of the car to support the gearbox and also the engine. As you can see, that one there is different. This is the one that's out of the red car, and I've painted it up and made it tarty and pretty. But that there is which is different, which is on the isn't on the other one. So that one there will be going into the car. We've prettied that up and painted it nice, and so it's not rusty and anything anymore. And that's around the bits and bobs around the manual swap. One little thing I would like to point out is down the back here, underneath there's a vacuum hose, which this car was running a little bit rough on idle, and it was the smallest of hose that had a split in it. So we've put that back together, and trust me when I say this genuinely purrs like a little kitten now. So we're really happy with that and nearly sorted there. Now, one of the next things I'll probably do after the roadworthy and we're on the road is my OCD is going to melt a little bit. This here is metal, and it feels like a plasticky or really thick paint that's on there, which you can obviously see is black and silver. I've done the wipers already and they've come up trumps, but from my point of view that looks horrible, and I did try and pull it off this car here, and it looks like because it's pretty thin metal, it just bends, and I don't want to break it, hence these plastics here broke when I tried to pull that one off. So I'll probably mask that up and paint that. Rust wise that I have sort of had time to have a look at, it's in the corner there, which is surface stuff, which, you know, we'll clean that up nicely. I have had a look at a few cars which are missing this here, so if anyone's got one of them that sees this, I would genuinely appreciate that, because that's what causes rust down there. So we're going to, it's only surface, it's really, really tiny, but again, I mean, I've put all the effort into this car. I'd like to sort of make it as pretty as we can. And the only other little bit of rust which I found is just on the, on that one there, which is just the hinge for the bonnet, which again, not really too bad to worry about, but again, I will pull that apart and give it a dust over for paint. Now, the final little thing I'll show you today is this is the shifter. I've got it up here because I had cleaned it and drying it out, but as you can see, the shifter has some sort of weird contraption on the end of it which doesn't get a gear knob on it. In there it's flogged out completely, and the bushes that are in there are pretty cactus. So what do we do? I had a look online. Shifters, you know, they're sort of 60, 70 bucks. A short shifter in this was 30 cents. So I took the short shifter option. So when that arrives, We'll get hopefully some clean bushes through here and tart all that up. But then we'll get that one into the car and hopefully go from there. Okay, so that's it for the little update today. Basically, we've got a few odds and ends left on the white car to do, and then pull the box out of the red one and throw it into the white one. So we're nearly on the way to being on the road. If anyone who's recently joined the channel and wants any bits and pieces from the red car, just flick me a message. I'm pretty much giving it away, so I'm going to be crushing the car relatively soon. What else? I'd probably say the next thing is updates on the other cars. So we've got the race car is waiting its brake kit to come over from Core 4 Motorsports over in the US. That should be leaving the States in a couple of weeks, hopefully, because the two-piece rotors were hard to get apparently, so they're on the way. The road car is basically waiting on a bit of money, which I'm sort of a little short at the moment, but we've got some odds and ends coming for that car as well. And hopefully when all COVID's locked down and finished, we might take the ute out for a bit of a blast up into the hills with the family again. So again, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing. We'll catch you on the next video. Thanks again.